What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Fannounce Table edition of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. I am Tony Mango, joined as always by Robert Felice.
Here. You may not even remember this event that we're about to cover.
You also might not have even heard what Rob said there because you cut out as you were saying, hear ye.
Did I really? Yeah. Ah, God. That's the kind of day we're having, folks. It's King of the Ring 2015, baby.
Or according to Peacock, it's King of the Ring Live because it's just not listed under King of the Ring. Why not? I don't know. It's Peacock.
King of the Ring Live.
Yeah.
Starring R-Truth,
Bad News Barrett, Sheamus, and the host for this episode, Neville.
Here's your host, Neville.
You just picture Neville comes out, does the whole like waving to the crowd, starts talking about 77.
I'm a bastard, but we've got a great show for you tonight.
Who'd the musical guest be?
R-Truth, actually.
Well, Ron Killings now.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing here. We're watching the 2015 King of the Ring special, not pay-per-view, but like little network special that they had done. This is obviously 10 years ago. This is part of the reason why we're doing it. Also because the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments are back right now. And at the moment, only Roxanne Perez and Sami Zayn have moved on into the tournament. So we don't know who's going to win this year. But funny enough, some of the people that are in this tournament are still wrestling. Funny enough. I don't know. I said funny enough twice there. But I'm working on 2 hours of sleep. We'll see if this ends up boring me to sleep and figures that problem out. But I don't think that'll be the case.
This was presented on April 28th of 2015, which is interesting to me because if that happened now, that would just be WrestleMania. Like, the whole schedule has moved so much in the past few years.
I don't remember almost anything about this. And
me neither.
That's not just a matter of like, well, it's 10 years, so like, who remembers absolutely everything. It's just because this is not all that important in the grand scheme of things, knowing who wins and how they end up treating him and everything. But nevertheless, the fact that I don't remember much about this, why not rewatch it and see if it sparks any other memories, or maybe it's just a fun watch along for the sake of it. We needed a mini event for this week, and you brought this up as an option, and I liked it. So that's how we're doing it. And if you don't know how this works, if you're brand new to this whole thing, you should be on YouTube right now checking out your screen, which it'll show you on the left-hand side. You'll see the bracket until I switch over to the other thing that I'm using for my image on here. But on the right-hand side, you will see a time code. Now, since we are watching the full show of this and we're not starting midway through, this is one of those easy ones. You start with all zeros. You don't have to try to sync it up directly at a specific time. It's just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, all the zeros. I don't know how many zeros I counted, but it doesn't matter. And we will give you a countdown of 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, you will see the ticker on the screen move, and you will be able to hit the play button at the same time and sync up your feed, hopefully on Peacock. If you are listening to this and you are watching on Netflix, then I don't know how that's going to sync up 100% because there are discrepancies between those. It shouldn't be too far off. And I don't know if they're going to cut at any point and have like any commercial break, cut the black moments in this or not. But if they do, I'll try to let you know, and maybe we'll be able to pause or something. In any case, it's a 51 minute and 27 second show, according to the Peacock feed. And it is the semifinals and the finals is what they had done. They previously had the other round one matches, and those are not going to be shown here. So we're getting 3 matches on this thing.
I wonder what other like filler there is, because not too heavy on the spoilers, but I'm looking at the times for all of these matches, and we are very deep and still deep in the era of oh, we're barely cracking 10 minutes per match.
Hmm.
In fact, we're not cracking 10 minutes for any of these. So what the hell's on this show?
I don't know. I just assumed that it was those 3 matches, but now I'm even more curious. Even more of a reason to watch. So again, if you are listening to this on the audio only function, then, you know, if you're on Spotify or Amazon Music or something like that, you're not going to see the time code on your screen. But if you hit the play button when I say play, then you should be synced up and it should work pretty much the same as anything else. I'm going to switch my graphic over before I forget about that. Also, before I forget about it, because I know I'm not going to be able to do this during the show and not have my time code disappear, remember to hit up the Discord and join our server over there. Start chatting it up on the different channels that we have over on the Smark Out Moment side or the Fanboys Anonymous side of that too. If you want to help us out on the monetary side of things or even just the completely free options, make sure that you hit the like button on YouTube, subscribe, ring that notification bell, hit the share button, drop a comment below. All the engagement is great. Monetary stuff, of course, the thanks button, the join button, which will give you access to the Darkcast tier, the Pick Your Poison tier. Even $1 a month is greatly appreciated, and it's the same as patreon.com/smarkoutmoment. Redbubble and TeePublic is where you can pick up merchandise until I figure out some better shop options that don't just completely ignore me. I'm still waiting for Dashery. Still waiting for you. You guys suck.
No, what? No, I was going to ask what is Dashery, but we don't need to get into that right now.
Yeah, they're the people that took over part of TeePublic, and they're like, hey, you know, one of the things you could do is you could embed that stuff on YouTube. And I'm like, hey, when I click embed, it tells me that there's an error, that it doesn't give me an option to do anything. And they're like, after 2 weeks or so, they were like, well, you can click the embed button and it'll work. And I'm like, that's the thing I just said didn't work. And here's the error I already sent you. And then they were like, well, that should have worked. And I'm like, it didn't. And then they waited another 2 weeks. And then they were like, so are you pleased with our service? And I was like, no, you didn't fucking help me. And then they haven't gotten back to me back from that. So I'm going to send them another email in the next couple of days and be like, listen, a-holes. You know?
Yeah, give them the business.
Yeah, I've been giving too many people the business.
But you know what? Like, life is so much better when you give people the business.
Like the people that reached out to me the other day for an advertisement, and they said, I know that your rate is what we agree that we would pay that for a year for the sponsored advertisement, but despite how you said that you will not entertain any kind of permanent placements unless it was at least a couple $1,000, can you maybe do the rate that you have for a year and do that permanently? We don't think that you will, but can you? And I was like, absolutely fucking not. Like, what kind of an idiot would I be if it was like, you know, here it's $1 for an apple, but if you pay me $1, I'll give you apples forever.
Like,
am I that fucking stupid? Apparently some people think I am. I don't know. If you think I am, drop a comment below. If you think I'm not, drop a comment below. It'll help my self-esteem.
what? That's so fucking weird. Like,
yeah. And they haven't even sent the thing for the 1 year thing anyway. This has become an all talk show. Darkcast episode. Point is, this is what happens when it's 11:30 in the morning.
In the morning. So I'll be wide awake for this.
Yeah.
But Tony's delusional.
I got my right eye's a little glossy at the moment. It's raining out. It's nice. That's nice. Anyway, people listen to this podcast going, are you sure this isn't a Darkcast? And this where, yeah. Well, we're gonna record a Darkcast later on. So yeah, the usual setup here. We will say 3, 2, 1, play. Make sure that you click on the Peacock link, either down below on YouTube or on the page on smarkoutmoment.com, or you just search for it yourself. Again, remember, if you are searching for it by yourself, if you search King of the Ring, it's not going to be on the King of the Ring seasons, because why would logic make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. Why is it not a part of the King of the Ring section?
It's the type of thing that if you asked somebody and you would say, hey, logically, if I were to search for this event, should you not put it under the event? People will go, well, yeah. And you'd be like, well, why didn't you? And they'd be like, boss.
What do you mean? I thought we had that under the event.
Boss told me no, and I can't think for myself or something. Anyway, Peacock's done. So get yourself situated. If you are not ready to do this, then pause this video or feed or whatever it is you're listening to us on, and then, you know, get ready and get yourself set for when you are. Because I'm ready. Are you ready, Rod?
I'm ready. I am ready.
All right, everybody. So remember, it is 3, 2, 1, play, and you hit play when I say play. That's the whole point of me saying play. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. So we have the TV14 thing in memory of Vern Gagne. Okay, so this is
a lot of major wrestling legends died within like 3 months, like a month or two of each other. Because you had Vern, you had Dusty, and you had Piper. Wow, that's rough. Vern Gagne, great wrestling promoter. You know, AWA. I kind of spent a lot of time with Greg Gagne in 2014 doing the podcast. So Vern was cool.
And now, I'm sure Vince never thought about that a single time afterward, and I still fucking do. Old school King of the Ring with Austin there.
How do you like the logo?
It's not my favorite King of the Ring logo, but it's not bad. The reason I don't like it is I don't like that it's just a K. I like the one from like what they just showed with like Triple H when he won that like 96, 97 type logo.
Those logos, you know, they're everything. I wish that style of design would come back. More bright colors, guys.
Same as that Royal Rumble logo. I always like that one too.
I like the one. Are you talking about the red one?
The one with like the little triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I like the one right before that with just like the Hogan era one.
Like the grungy text.
Talking about logos. Yeah, I love the original Royal Rumble logo. Well, not the original, but like the one that most people.
The one after the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. One of the
the original one with like the script text is pretty meh.
And obviously, I'm surprised they've never just brought back the original WrestleMania logo.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
I mean, I want them to bring that back and also bring back the da 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 da.
Now,
and the other theme too.
The little moving graphic, the little Cinema 40 graphic they just had there.
The which one?
The one that had and now WWE presents King of the Ring.
Fear of the Spear. So this is wait, when did the network debut? What
February. Year? So we're about a year and a half into the network, I believe.
So this is when they're experimenting with like how many things can we do. This is like the golden era of the network where they're like making shows and they're actually caring.
I love this era of the network.
Watching shows like Countdown and all.
Now, you're not actually getting the full tournament, even though they said twice now you're getting the King of the Ring tournament. You're not.
Right, you're getting the back half.
You're getting the semifinals and finals. Oh, this is a 2-night tournament, really? Really? This is a 2-night tournament. Okay.
And also, does it not count as a qualifier if you have that as just round one?
I think he messed up.
Yeah.
They were quarterfinals, not qualifiers. Now, King of the Ring is an idea that I love. But it's also an idea that hinges entirely on, do you remember what it did for Stone Cold?
Yeah.
That's all they ever talk about.
And it can work for so many people, and it can give people a great gimmick if they don't have one. It can work really well for a heel in particular to just be like, well, now I'm going to hoist this over everybody and be like, oh, I'm the king of the ring and you're beneath me, you're peasants, etc., etc. But so often they will give it to somebody and be like, even Gunther, as a heel, it was like, I'm the king of the ring. I'm not wearing this dumbass crown. Anyway, you might as well forget that I'm king of the ring. And you're like, oh, then what was the point? You won a number one contenders tournament then. And I don't like when they do that. I like it better when it's, Booker T becomes King Booker and he's carrying that gimmick around and maybe you boost him up.
We just saw R-Truth beat Stardust, which is hysterical in the current day context. And literally the current day context. Like, if we'd done this last week, it wouldn't have been as funny.
Yeah, now we get Ron Killings up against Cody Rhodes, American Nightmare, former WWE champion.
And that would be like a main event of a pay-per-view.
Right, yeah. Now, in this tournament, we've got, Bastard Pac is over in AEW. Luke Harper, unfortunately, no longer with us. But this is when they're pushing Neville to be like, they actually like him.
Can you imagine
he's going to go somewhere?
King Harper? That would have been really good.
I would have been okay with it. I don't remember at the time if I was like rooting for anybody in particular. I do know that I was really enjoying Bad News Barrett, and I always was a fan of him, so I probably was rooting for him. I don't understand as well in these kind of scenarios why somebody like a Sheamus continues to be in the tournament if he already was King of the Ring. To me, that's like, you should put somebody else there. There are other people on the roster, and this is cut into black, by the way, for anybody that's curious. Now we're on Byron Saxton in the back, so if you had a commercial break, pause and get that stuff situated. But
wow,
Sheamus
he
is about to be interviewed.
5 years removed from his King of the Ring victory here. That's crazy.
That was 2010?
Yeah, he don't even. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Maybe that's why they put him in there. English elf, jeez. That he really did look stupid. I know that was the thing.
Yeah.
He really did.
Truth.
I would have enjoyed R-Truth as King, I think. Knowing what we know now, I think that would have been the most fun option.
I probably was thinking that Neville was going to win.
Yeah, I never think a babyface is winning King of the Ring. Hey, Renee.
I mean, this year, a babyface has to.
By the way, this is what they're doing to fill time. We're 7 minutes in. They're just
completely filling it with backstage interviews and shit. Yeah, that went away.
he's so much better as a heel. He's not allowed to be a generic babyface. Remember that Pritchard did that podcast revealing that like Vince likes Mighty Mouse?
Yeah.
So then everybody was just like, well, Neville, he said like Neville's probably Vince's Mighty Mouse, and then everybody was just like, I guess Neville's Mighty Mouse. When in reality, I think Vince just like small guys conquering the day.
And we got Brandy Rhodes acting as an announcer.
$9.99 reasons why
she's
I
so
love
fucking
WWE.
pretty.
She's so pretty. Brandy Rhodes is absolutely an amazingly gorgeous individual. I like that Cody Rhodes is just like, hey, you got me looking like this for like 10 more years, and then I'm going to be my dad.
Not Sheamus's best theme, but his second best.
Knowing what we know now, maybe put Sheamus over. You know, like, yeah, it would have been a rehash, but this is like a whole new Sheamus.
Also, it hasn't ever been done before, really. Like, Bret Hart's a 2-time King of the Ring winner, but they don't really treat it like he is, you know?
Would you like to see the King title come back as like a defended championship? Kind of like how Savage was King of the WWE?
Or how Corbin lost it to Nakamura?
Nakamura, yeah.
I think you can put it on the line, but I think more so, I don't want it to be something that like it becomes like clockwork that they just, okay, now we're going to have a new King of the Ring at this point of the year every year. I actually like it better when we don't have King of the Ring every year.
I mentioned this on the podcast the other day. I'm kind of pro them dropping Money in the Bank as a yearly thing.
I still think Money in the Bank should be yearly, but I think War Games and King of the Ring should only be when you've got an idea.
I got an idea. Give me the crown.
Oh, now we're getting the tweets up on the screen too.
Sheamus is a giant. I guess in a normal context, he would be considered a giant man.
But yeah, when you put him next to Neville, it's like, well, he's not that much bigger than him.
Yeah, why are you making Neville like, I'm small?
So was this like this is a separate venue from what they did on Raw, so this wasn't just like, yeah, okay, well, they like recorded it afterward. Oh, was this also like a recording for like SmackDown or something?
I have no idea. I'm wondering myself because they must have given the fans something.
Because it's weird to be like sell out the arena for a 1 hour show that's King of the Ring that has like 3 matches on it or something. I mean, they probably had some kind of a warm up match.
Okay, it was in fact before SmackDown taping.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
This portion aired live, and then SmackDown was taped.
That makes a lot more sense. Which is like, do more of that shit, you know?
Hold on.
Damn, why? How does he be able to do that?
This match has been going on for like 2 minutes. They've made 5 short jokes. What the fuck? Like,
as if he's like short.
Yeah, as if he's like, Vern Troyer.
Minnie's division or something.
Come on, dude.
Look at young John Cone.
Yeah, he's talent relations man now.
How old's Nicholas at this point? Like 27?
Please don't do that to me. He's gonna be like 16, 17.
Can he and Izzy just like become like a new couple and then in the future have like
a year younger than Izzy? So Izzy just turned 18, so yeah.
We need a whole new generation of those two and Nick Wayne and well, at that point Nick Wayne's gonna be like a seasoned veteran.
Nick Wayne already bothers me. Like, no, honestly, it's so weird being like, oh, like you're very young.
I caught myself again the other day being like, Rhea Ripley's 28.
Yeah,
I'm a decade older than Rhea Ripley. I don't like this.
She can retire, and she's done enough.
Right. I saw a great video with Tito Santana on TikTok. They just brought his name up. Some guy keeps buying cameos and giving them like really bad prompts. And he gave one for Tito Santana of pretending that he had gone on a date with somebody and shit himself. And
what?
Tito clearly did not read the prompt before recording. So he's like, oh, hey, like Jeremy or whatever. I see that you went on a date with your crush and you shit yourself. Not good. Not good news. Don't talk about it. If you never talk about it, it didn't happen. I'm like, poor Tito. This dude just took a break from his fucking Spanish class. And it's like, seems like a good dude. Big fan of Ricky Steamboat.
Isn't he a barber now? What does he do for a living?
As far as I'm aware, Tito's still a Spanish teacher. But
that's crazy. Your Spanish teacher is like
Tito Santana,
one of the most prolific wrestlers of the 80s.
It's like I didn't read the chapter El Matador.
They all go into education. Axe, George Steele. Was it not Bundy, but his brother?
Oh, all the pallies. Most of them are in education. I talked about that before.
Yeah, I mean,
My gym teacher and my principal.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of weird to be like my principal and my gym teacher are brothers of King Kong Bundy. But it explained how fucking tall they were. Because they were huge. Shout out to Mr. Palez. That's what we used to call him. Because it used to just bother him for some reason. So he'd be like, Mr. Palez!
But
You gotta keep yourself busy. I was one of those fucking kids.
That's shocking. That is shocking information.
Mr. Palez!
This match is decently long, considering maybe we were just talking our way through, but according to Wikipedia, this match is only supposed to be 5 minutes and 43 seconds long.
That's probably at the end of it now. Distraction and then a roll up or something. Was this the ass kissing match?
Yep.
We were just talking about this the other day. That's funny. I hated that Extreme Rules logo.
Terrible. Okay, you're taking too long. I like how skinny those poles are.
Without the screens and all.
I guess like it's a better base. You know what I mean? Maybe it's better now because it
gives people an option to jump off of it and stuff.
Oh, we were just talking about it because we just did that 2015 Money in the Bank watch along.
Yeah, that's right. See, Ziggler would have been a good potential option for a King of the Ring, I think.
Ziggler, like 2 years before this would have been. Oh, and they're still so PG here. Like the way that Cole just said, "Kiss his backside," like they're still so. Well, we got to think about the kids. Won't somebody please think of the children?
I don't think if you gave me 1,000,000 tries, I could do this move.
Tony, when's the last time you took a full breath?
Right now.
Okay, well,
I'm surprised that worked. I was like mid-breath going, I'm not going to get a whole breath, am I? That just runs up and ass first. Now I'm here to get some Sheamus face to my ass.
What?
Yeah, Sheamus. He's crashing out for no reason. So this is it's not a brand split going on. No, back in 2015. So SmackDown could have easily just been like, all right, now we're gonna have also a thing with Sheamus.
Yeah, and it'll be like Roman Reigns will team with Dean Ambrose in the
main event. Oh damn, Sheamus bleeding.
Oh my god, what happened to this?
What did he get caught on?
Well, Ziggler, what'd you do to him? Like,
what could he have possibly gotten cut on there?
Oh my, I almost want to rewind just to see how hard Ziggler clipped him. What happened there?
Maybe Ziggler's got like some kind of a something on the jacket?
On the vest? Like, is there a stud on that vest? Jesus Christ. Cut him good. Like, made him bleed his own blood.
You made me bleed my own blood. Another commercial break. We're back. Woman in the back was confused about what was happening.
Okay, so there must have been a network commercial. Okay, let's see if we can see what he cut himself on.
So he's not bleeding yet. Is he? No, he's not bleeding yet.
Where is he?
Nah.
No.
So he cuts himself on the second time around, but I guess they're not going to show it now. I do like simple enough graphics like this. You got the ring in the background with the logo. It's purple. It's gold. Yep, that works.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I want Barrett to have a return match.
You know, I never put this together, but you know how when Nash returned at the 2011 Royal Rumble, just by dyeing his hair, he looked phenomenal?
Yeah.
I bet if Wade Barrett just dyed his hair right now, he'd look like, okay, he's going to
Basically
jump in the ring. Yeah.
This dude should have had a world title reign.
Was the bullhammerphobia? That's very close to homophobia. What was he saying there? Got him.
God, I hate the whole and now we're going to pan over to the person to just stare. I hate that so much. I'm glad that they don't do that as much anymore. R-Truth, of course, looks exactly the same as he does now. Well, now that he cut his hair, at least there's that.
That was very smart. Dude on TV, and the hair was going. What? What?
You think he's going to be able to get Byron to break?
Okay. What is happening right now?
And yet, it all makes sense.
That makes perfect sense, but why are they giving him the time to do this? Good for Byron. He's not breaking.
You know, that's a situation where you're fine enough to continue lagging on the interviewer and have them look confused. Not Renee just being like, I wonder if R-Truth, now that he is Ron Killings, finally understands what's up. If he's gotten an answer.
Hold on, wait. You got the mic. Why is he not doing the rap? Do the rap. But
Yeah,
Brock
that's
Lesnar,
weird.
yeah, you think he's gonna keep saying what's up now that he's Ron Killings?
Nah, I think he's going to get some new music.
But I do like the royal band on all spitters.
This is a good theme for Barrett. I remember this one.
BNB.
Boom.
Bed and breakfast. Boom and boom.
I don't know why he's skipping. That's a little weird.
Because he's showing how lean and jacked. Look at this. This man should have been a world champion.
Absolutely should have.
And by the way, he slimmed down from the Nexus days of 5 years before this. Because, like, Wade Barrett in Nexus was thick. Oh, they're really pushing Twitter. This is almost like ridiculous.
This is him being like, please trend.
One of my favorite pay-per-views ever, by the way. King of the Ring 93. Very good transitional era show.
We almost ended up watching that one for this main event for this week. Anybody that's curious?
We could have done that. It's just a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
And this is easier to do. Full transparency.
Yeah, just
but
schedules.
I love that show. What? It has what's his face hasn't debuted yet, has he? Kevin Owens.
Nah, I don't think so.
It feels like that is a shift in and of itself. Kevin Owens comes onto the main roster. AJ Styles debuts in January of the following year, and it feels like you get into the whole like worker era of WWE where even WWE is having badass matches.
It's so weird the crossover with certain people though. Like, I don't inherently think Owens, Styles, Barrett, Stardust, you know, like.
Well, you got a grammar degree from Syracuse. That's funny. You got to think about like how much would have changed if Kevin Owens wasn't on the roster when Cody got released. He wouldn't have introduced him to the Young Bucks. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't get AEW.
For better or worse.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's like a 90% positive. I can't imagine, I can't imagine going back to an era where there's just WWE.
I don't know, because NXT was so good. You know?
NXT was really good. I completely agree. But I also think it's important to just have another entity owned by someone else.
Like, guaranteed I wouldn't have been exposed to certain people. Like, WWE never would have hired Orange Cassidy, for instance.
Right.
So that sucks. But then it's like, man, we would have gotten some people sticking around in NXT, and we also would have gotten some people hired
like Adam
there.
Cole would have been a WrestleMania guy.
Then again, we also had that whole era of NXT where they were bringing people in that really didn't amount to anything, like Tyler Rust and Asher Hale, and
Tyler Rust. Was that who was that? That name feels familiar, but like
he was the dude that was with Stokely for a little bit.
Yes.
There was like a whole group of like 15 people that like came and went in a short time frame. And like, it's basically that like new era of like we always talk about like Eric Escobar and Bam Neely and, Ricky Ortiz and all that. It was like that 2007 era of like hire a bunch of people and then quickly get rid of them. For every Kazarni back then, there's a oh god, I'm blanking on the guy's name, and August Gray or something, I think was his name.
Yeah, August Gray, which is on the independent circuit, it's retro Anthony Green. So he traded Anthony for August and Green to Gray.
Chris JBL's the one that makes the we need an American King comment.
Which is funny because he's actually not MAGA.
He's not?
No.
Okay. You get some points then.
Oh, fuck. What?
Just a bullhammer that, did they have to like go home real quick or something?
Match, first of all. Like, what?
Yeah.
Bro, this is a terrible show.
It's really not good. I say as I try to stifle you on.
Like, what?
Not surprised though. I mean, 2015. Like, we're not far off from the whole like Del Rio and Sheamus over and over again, and
that was actually a few years before this.
It was what, 2011?
2011, 2012.
And like 2014, who was the Royal Rumble winner in 2014? Was that Sheamus?
No, it was Batista.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right.
Boom, 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 boom.
So they have 20 minutes left in this show for one more match. So we're going to fill some time with the Vern Gagne memoriam.
Vern Gagne.
I was literally going to say Vern Gagne. You beat me to it. Like, I was like getting ready to make the...
Again, I probably have seen more of Vern than you ever have or ever will.
Absolutely, you have.
Because I look up stuff like Vern Gagne versus Luthez because I'm just so curious about wrestling. But like I said, I did the podcast with Greg for a year. Great dude. A lot of fun memories of his dad. And I think it's fair to say, like, Vern Gagne is probably one of the most important promoters of all time. And one of the most important trainers. Hogan. Sheik. Not Jesse Ventura. But he did promote him. Bobby Heenan promoted Andre the Giant. Like a lot of major WWE stars. Like, this is kind of like how, if you look at, when people jump ship from AEW to WWE now, like a lot of people jumping ship from AWA basically built the Rock and Wrestling era.
Definitely not something that I ever find myself getting the urge to watch old footage like that.
You know what I do enjoy from old footage? I like when Mean Gene is on commentary because he's got that perfect radio voice of like that. Yeah, and here we are, everybody, and he hits him with the suplex. He hit the suplex.
Yeah, he's got I mean, his voice
Greg has looked exactly the same for 20 years.
Ooh, Linda.
Yeah, fuck them. Like,
dipshit in our fucking Department of Education.
You could also just say in wrestling, bro. You don't have to specify that, like,
there's an I'm on TV Maggle.
I'm on TV Maggle.
Why do I feel like that girl in the right hand corner is Nixon Newell?
No,
like it's not, but like the girl with the like purplish hair. Like I keep thinking for a split second, I'm like, is that Tia Knox? And I'm like, oh wait, no. We gotta kill more time. Let's have Ziggler come out and talk about the thing that he did that was in response to the thing that happened.
No. I don't want to take another look back. You're filling so much time on this show. Like,
the lunatic fringe.
I still stand by Dean Ambrose had a perfectly fine run
Yeah.
in WWE. Get over it.
Dude won multiple different championships.
It's not as good as the Moxley run. That's not what I'm saying. But it's a perfectly fine run. There's nothing wrong with his run.
Most people in WWE would kill to have Moxley's run in WWE.
Why is he talking like this is his greatest enemy of all time?
Because he's just overacting.
Wait, hold on. Of my ass. You're gonna taste my ass.
Arse.
Did you hear that guy in the crowd?
What did he say?
It's okay, Dolph. I still like you.
And we're getting it this week on the network thing.
I remember the Jericho podcast with Stephanie.
Why do people feel the need to advertise things when you're watching the things? Like every time I go to the movies, I'm like at AMC. I don't need 5 ads about AMC. I'm at your fucking theater.
They want you to know, man. They want you to know what you're watching.
Right now, they're like, hey, and you're watching this right now. No shit. We're 30-something minutes into the fucking thing. Oh, I'm watching King of the Ring. I thought I was watching the fucking Floyd Mayweather match.
See, I think that it's fine when you're watching TV. In this case, I don't think it's fine because you're literally subscribed to the network. Like, you know what you're watching.
Yeah, you actively went and paid for this thing and then opened up the app and logged in and chose this and watched it live at the time. You know you're watching the King of the Ring tournament.
I still think the network was better. I don't care that it was a loss leader. I don't care if the company makes money. I care about the content they provide me.
Same here. The search functions were better. More content.
It was fluid. It was quick. It was, like...
As much as it's like, yeah, okay, to spend, $10, $15 a month or whatever on Peacock gives me access to the Peacock stuff. I never watch any of it.
Yeah, do you find yourself being like, I need to watch The Office. I need to watch The Monsters. I need to check out those Andy Griffith reruns.
I think the only show that I've watched on Peacock since being a part of this whole thing was Traders.
Oh my god. I hate the show.
I mean, it would be worse today because they would be like, oh, well, now this needs to be a 3-hour show.
And it's brought to you in part by Wheatley American Vodka.
Yeah.
Here's 5 commercials, and the steel steps are actually covered in Wheatley American Vodka. Take a sip.
And our hour-and-a-half long pre-show is the Slim Jim sponsored King of the Ring pre-show, where we'll, for some reason, feel like we need an hour and a half, even though we're throwing flashback clips.
Slim Jim, King of the Meat Stick.
Definitely do not miss Kevin Dunn. Neville's just out there already. He's like, I'm going to do my same thing. Maybe this time I can get the clasp undone quicker.
Oh, no, wait. He's got problems with his ribs.
But he's still able to do that. Does he get the clasp better?
No.
Yeah. Still a little bit better. Triple. Did you catch what JBL said?
Road Dogg to the tweet because Billy only knows 2 words.
Yeah.
That's good. Boo.
They like, well, we only have the pyro for one time.
That's funny because Neville got the pyro twice.
Favoritism.
Jerk. Boo. Bullhammer is the greatest finisher upgrade from the worst finisher of all time. Wasteland sucks.
Wasteland was not good.
Wasteland sucks.
I would say, though, better upgrade Stone Cold Stunner from the
$1 Million Dream.
$1 Million Dream. And the super kick from that suplex that Michaels tried to do for a little while.
Yeah. You know, I've gone back and watched some old school Shawn Michaels. For a minute, it feels like he was trying to get the pile driver over. Not bad, not Shawn Michaels. That explosivity of the super kick is perfect. Same thing with the bullhammer, actually. It's the explosivity of it.
I liked it better when they were calling it the souvenir.
I like the souvenir better, too. Because like it should leave you with a souvenir. It should leave you with a black eye and a busted lip.
And you know that was a Vince thing. That sounds too lame. We got to go to something visceral, like the bull hammer. It's like, man.
I like that, like Vince McMahon's voice in our minds is perfectly just.
He just turns into Tim Allen, kind of. I just imagine him walking around doing that, being all surly and terrible. Probably harassing somebody and then complaining about not understanding what his lunch is.
You know,
focus a burrito.
I've never heard of this burrito. Why wouldn't you just eat a burger? It's American.
Man, I could go for either one of those right now.
I have eaten burgers 2 times out of the last 4 nights, and I had a quesadilla last night.
Nice.
Smash burger from Chili's, not bad.
Huh.
And on Friday I had Five Guys because I'm not against spending a decent amount for a smash burger.
Not a big fan of Five Guys.
It's a bit overpriced.
Yeah, for the same price, you could get so many more burgers at other places.
Although I did eat McDonald's the other day. I told you about that. It's the worst experience I've ever had. I overate. I completely overate. It just made me feel terrible.
What was the order?
2 double cheeseburgers, side of fries, and buy one get one of 6 chicken nuggets. So basically, I had 12 nuggets, 2 burgers, fries, and a Coke, and I felt terrible.
Actually, either the day of or the day after we were talking about KC's recently, because of course it comes up more than once in a week or so. Ended up on the way to the movies being like, there's a Taco Bell on the way to the movies. So I'm sitting there watching. Oh God, what movie did I even see?
Yeah, I didn't ask you. By the way, this is mostly just a dark cast as we watch this show.
God, what movie did I watch recently? I watched Ballerina. And I'm sitting there eating my steak quesadilla and my crunch wrap.
Ana de Armas. How's the movie?
Pretty good. Not my favorite of the John Wicks, but it was solid. As was the Taco Bell.
Neville's great. Taco Bell's great. I'm glad Pac is doing his thing in AEW, and I wish Wade Barrett was still wrestling.
I echo all these.
It really messed with my mind when he was calling the Cena Orton match at Backlash. I was like, he was brought in as a young guy before, like, because these two were already kind of getting stale. It was really messing with me that he was like this retired guy calling the match.
I'm sure he could still go.
Yeah, 100%. It's like the whole Nigel McGuinness thing where it was like he never couldn't go, he just chose to stop. But you know how it is in wrestling. When you retire, you're suddenly like 100 years old.
Yeah.
Because even Flair, immediately after the Michaels match, he went from being like a guy who could still go to like, oh, he's an old man. Wrestling is very weird in that way.
Wins a change, not a bad move, but not a finisher.
But a great name for the move.
Yeah.
Essentially the Black Hole Slam, which is what Jasper Troy is using now. And they call it the Black Hole Slam because Abyss works for them now, which is funny.
I always hated how they did that, where they would always like slow everything down until the part where you actually want to see it in slow motion, and then they would speed it up.
No, because it's the suddenness of the impact. I don't know why I'm breaking into a bit. Wasteland? I always hate that too. When suddenly a wrestler gets a new finish.
And everybody can kick out of the old finish.
Yeah, I don't like that. You see it not every day, but every week with Bailey and the Bailey to Belly, where it's like that never puts anybody away anymore. Or like Jericho and the Codebreaker.
Realistically, wouldn't it make more sense to take the patch off and hurt the people more?
I think the idea is that the pad is loaded. They never they don't go on that, but I think the idea is the pad's loaded. Knees and then bullhammer, I'm guessing.
Most likely. Or just miss. Foot up? Oh no, bullhammer out of the corner.
Oh! Good Lord! Count to 10. Jesus. That was good. I like that finish. I like that finish a lot. That was probably my favorite part of the show.
They could have done something with King Barrett, man.
I think the problem is with the King of the Ring, you put that goofy ass crown, and suddenly they're King Barrett, and you're not just letting them, drop him with people with bullhammers. He had 2 awesome bullhammers on this show. Literally came out of nowhere, and he should have had a better push.
It is saying something that he gets this bad news Barrett thing just because of a goofy little behind the scenes thing. And then they're like, well, we're going to take that away from you and make you King Barrett and then basically not push you. And then what's the thing that he gets referred to more these days than anything else? Bad news Barrett. Like, yeah, you should have just kept him as Bad News Barrett.
And I didn't love the Bad News Barrett because I don't like when a serious guy gets over with comedy. But yeah, that is what he's most known for. And honestly, when you think about it, he is done in less than a year's time. Completely done with wrestling. His
Only
last
a
match
year? Really?
His last match was the Raw after WrestleMania 2016.
That's crazy. But then again, when you're being paired up with Stardust and the Ascension,
What, the Cosmic Wasteland? Actually, no. It's the League of Nations. Is the last thing he does. He fights the New Day at Mania, and then he fights the New Day on the Raw after Mania.
crowned himself. That's what a real king does. Now bullhammer Jerry.
Hey Sheamus, Barrett, is that a scepter in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Like,
King Stew.
I was just thinking about that.
There you go. That balances out earlier with the Vern Gagne.
I was just thinking, Stu Bennett isn't very far off from Wade Barrett at all. Like,
Oh, there's the other pyro that they couldn't
we
do.
love King Stu.
Even the enthusiasm is just not there from the commentary. They're
It's
like,
really
Barrett's
not-
king of the ring
it's not-
now.
Like, they were really going through the motions. That was great, though.
Yeah, he clocked him.
This show sucked. I never want to watch it again.
After a 10-year time frame, I am very confident that 10 years from now, if I am still alive and the world is still around, that I am not going to be like, you know what I should do? I should go back 20 years and watch that, Bad News Barrett one.
First of all, you better still be alive. The world better still be around.
I'm not making any
But
promises.
yeah, we won't be watching this. Well, I hope you enjoyed our banter.
Hopefully so. And of course, let us know what you thought about not only what a podcast was about and everything, but also what you thought about rewatching this. Better or worse. And of course, we do have more stuff coming your way this week. We will have another round of the hot tags. We're going to try to record a dark cast to round out that Mount Rushmore that we had done of the baby faces side of things. And I don't think we're probably going to end up hitting you with any other kind of podcast, but you never know. And especially if you end up doing the Pick Your Poison tier, then, by all means, there might end up being another one there. But make sure that you are following us on all the different social media accounts and everything on smarkmoment.com, everything on fanboysanonymous.com, and everything that you can find at anthonymango.com for all of my Linktree list of all the different social medias and different websites and stuff. Follow me there and follow Rob over at Dude Felice.
Yep, follow me everywhere at Dude Felice, like literally Twitch, YouTube. I did a quick live stream watching Wholesome Games Direct. Literally no one came in except for a friend of mine, so I only did it for like 20 minutes, but I might do more of that. I'm trying to get motivated to do something, but you know how hard that is to come by. But yeah, follow me everywhere at Dude Fleece. Check out the power rankings that Callum Wiggins does. Check out the Fantasy League. See who's currently in the lead. I think I have to be after just gaining the women's Money in the Bank winner and the new World Heavyweight Champion. But yeah, check all that stuff out at Smark Moment, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Next time around, whatever it is, we are already thank you. We already thankful for you joining us. We are already thank you. It's like bad English or something. But yeah, thank you in advance for that. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all your support. And we will see you when we see you. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment. And we are being counted out.
Ding, ding, ding.
Boom.